Man, it's Friday.
Feeling good, feeling great.
Listening to lo-fi beats, making lo-fi beats. We're gonna post a lo-fi beats video up for the people.
Yeah.
Something to work to. Something how you feeling that?
Yo.
Yeah. I said it's been a long week. I might sleep till tomorrow. I done poured myself a drink. I'm about to drink the whole bottle. On throttle, going fast to the ground. Gravity is trying to pull a real G like me down. You know me. I hear something I like and I just start putting words together, man.
I do that Friday. In my mind, and then I work it out. Like, you've seen my process before.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's like for me, it's like a puzzle. It's a puzzle of words, right? And obviously I got the concept and I just fit the words, and then I try to put the puzzle pieces together as best I can. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got them puzzles where you just jam the piece. It might be a little too big. You know what I'm saying?
You very, oh man, I want to say cerebral. Like, you have a way of looking at a situation, and it's a special lens by which you see the world, man. And I think you're a great writer in that sense, man.
All right, listen, appreciate it. But you know, it's crazy, man. Like, when we started doing this music stuff, bro.
People don't know. The people don't know.
They don't.
We are former. I don't want to say former, but
nah, we
musicians.
Can't say former, man. We still, bro. This music stuff is in our blood. It's in our heart, and we're gonna be doing it as long as we can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Bong bong.
It don't matter. Like, nah, we got to put something out. But I was about to say, it doesn't matter if we never put anything out. Pause. But just to, you know, like, you sent me a beat. You know, you sent me the beat while I was riding the car. So I'm in the car. You know what I'm saying? I got like 7% battery on my phone, and I see the text from you, and I'm like, man, can I download this beat and listen to it right quick? When I tell you, I sat at the Circle K right on Hollywood Road. It's new, so it wasn't here when you was here, but you stayed at the apartment when you came down here, so you seen it,
right?
Yeah, but I sat in that Circle K for about a good 25 minutes, just listening to the beat, like, just trying to craft something or whatever, like, and get into a vibe.
There's so many ways you can go with it.
Yeah.
My writing process is I gotta feel it. I have to immerse myself in it. I have to listen to it maybe for hours, could be for days. I don't listen to anything else but that. And I listen to it and allow it to tell me instrumentally what I should be saying to it. What does this instrumental deserve?
You let it speak to you.
You know, when I was doing the voiceover work.
Yes, yeah. Shout out to Angel.
They tell you to do 3 different takes of the same line in different inflections and different speeds or whatever have you. And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like I'm writing a script and I can say it this way. Or I can say it's because it's not really all about what you say necessarily. It's how you say it.
How you say it.
Some of the dopest beats in the world have some of the wackest lyrics over top of them. But it goes. It's like, you know,
it still hits.
It hits because it hits. And it's mainly because the writer was able to make themselves not only convey a message, but like make themselves an instrument within the universe that's going on and making you, you know, say whatever you want to say in certain beats, and it's going to sound like gold, you know. Anyway.
You know what? I got to give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? You just shot me mine. And I gotta give you yours, man. I was just thinking about, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, all the times, even we would sit and listen to music. We're not even in the studio. We just might sit and vibe out the music, and you just craft something or whatever. And everything you've crafted has been like authentically you. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it be what's going on in life,
good, bad, or worse, right? For better or worse.
For better or worse, you know what I'm saying? Like what's going on in your life comes out through the lyrics, and it's so dope because in seeing your process, I also see your life, and I get to see like the stuff that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like
if I was lying, you'd be like, oh, this, come on now. Yeah, artistic license. Give me artistic license.
Nah, we all get that. You know what I'm saying? But I think about a track like Call Me Crazy.
You gonna take it back, man.
Yeah, I had to take it back to that only because, like, you know, the work that we did, and I say we, you know what I'm saying, because I very much felt a part of that process. But the work that we did for With the Cookies and shit, you know what I'm saying, to like put that out and like make it a cohesive project, like, and for that to be the kickoff of that project just says so much about you as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, I appreciate that, man.
Responsibility, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't shy away from it, you take it head on. And that just it oozes through the music, you know what I'm saying? Like the type of man that you are comes out through the music.
That's an ultimate compliment, brother, because I appreciate that, man. I try to convey a real message. I take artistic license with some stuff, but I try to convey a real message,
right,
that people that come from where we come from understand what we saying.
Right.
I'm talking to a niche group of people that grew up in a time. Well, so
that's the biggest thing. Like, we not.
This is one of the good things about this type of platform, right? And so this is one of those episodes where we can take license and.
Right.
I don't think the audience absolutely knows who we are, because this is usually their first time seeing us,
right,
this season or whatever have you.
Yeah.
And you know, they've been hearing our voices if they've been listening through Anchor. Shout out to Anchor. Shout out to Spotify, Apple Music. You can find earlier seasons of the I Care Too Much podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think our audience necessarily knows who we are. They just heard us one day, turned it on,
it's like,
start talking about some stuff.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and I'll post all the links and stuff where folks can find the music that we're talking about.
Right.
For those that don't know, let's give it context. Myself, I went under the name of Him Downstairs, as a musician, as a rap artist.
Yeah.
And my brother Picasso with the pen over here.
Yes.
Was also a musician and rap artist, and was definitely a big piece of me making my first project that got a little bit of buzz. And we did some very cool, very good shows, very packed out shows in the DC, Philly, and New York area.
Yeah.
What years were those? About 2020. 12.
So if we talking about the project, I would say latter 2012 heading into 13.
Right.
Because October 13 is when you released it. If I remember correctly. October and November 13.
I released a project called Where the Cookies and Shit.
Yeah.
Hashtag Where the Cookies and Shit. It's a playoff of Him Downstairs. Rest in peace to the late great Bernie Mac, who was my favorite comedian, and that's just my sense of humor. Honestly, his sense of humor is my sense of humor. It's very you know, because man, just the way I see the world, man. Sorry. The way I see the world. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
The way I see the world, man, is just so interesting. I think to me, it's like I come from Uptown DC, repping Uptown DC.
Uptown.
So I was born. I'm a Howard University baby. I'm a DC dude for real, bro. You know that. And shout out to DC. Born in '84, so I grew up in the '90s DC, and it was very cliquish, very neighborhood, you know, cliquish,
very dangerous.
very dangerous environment. It was still reeling from the effects of the 80s drug environment to now the 90s, more gangish, more cliquish, still drugs in the mix, but different types of drugs. Water, boat, and all that type of stuff was very popular here. Whereas heroin, cocaine is more popular over in Baltimore.
Right.
DC had a lot of cocaine too. Let's not.
Yeah.
DC had a whole lot of cocaine.
A whole lot.
Yeah. And so, we still dealing with that. And we came up around, me and mom stayed in an apartment on 9th and Longfellow. And that's a block over from Kennedy Street. And Kennedy Street is just a street in that area that you really can't avoid
at all.
You know what I mean? If you grew up in that area, and it was the strip. It was it was sort of a strip back then.
Right.
It's all in all the go-go music. You hear it all in the backyard band.
97 first.
That KDY. Don't ride through the KDY had a stigma attached to it. And so we did a lot of growing up on that street. Bus stops join you. Bus routes join you over there. 5th and Kennedy. It's like, how many buses stop over there 5th and Kennedy?
You got that E-bus, that E2, E4, E2, E3, E4. Then you got the 62.
You're a few blocks away from the 70 bus route.
70s right up the street.
Georgia Avenue.
And so a lot of not that far from Fort Todd Metro Station.
Right. So it's a strip that joins a lot of what we call uptown DC, the more residential part of DC. The Columbus effect is happening now slowly in the neighborhoods, and you know what I mean. It's becoming gentrified, and it is what it is. The city's going through a wave of new money, and that's just something that we all generally are accepting. Anyway, the DC that we knew though, Chocolate City, baby. It was the last of Chocolate City. It was you had that rich auntie. Everybody had that rich auntie that was
a little bit of bread. They moved out to PG County.
You know what I'm saying? Made a little cash working a government job, or she was working for some nonprofit or some law firm. You know what I'm saying? Black people, beautiful black people, and all stages of middle class, upper class to lower class incomes,
all throughout the city. You might go to a school, right? Depending on where it is. And I recognized this when I moved uptown, right? Because all the schools I went to in Southeast, were generally around the same socioeconomic, status. But when I moved uptown, I went to a school named Tacoma. And Tacoma had people from every type of background. You had a person such as myself who might have wore the same jeans a couple of days in a row. You know what I'm saying? But then you got another person who they live on 16th Street.
Right.
In a castle.
Right. And you all have at least 2 degrees of separation between you in the city, in the whole city. In the whole city. You have only about 2 degrees of separation between you and anybody else you meet that's actually really from DC.
Right.
So, and you get to see that, and then on a Kennedy Street, on on any kind of strip, you get to see also, the long-term effects of the crack era.
Right. The crack era really did some damage to DC.
Absolutely.
It really did some damage to DC, man. I think about some of the neighborhoods that I lived in. The uptown neighborhoods were more so catching the after effects, because I moved uptown 95, 96. So we were catching the afterward, you know what I'm saying? Uptown, but thinking about Southeast, Ridge Road, Minnesota Avenue, and just seeing I guess we were already in the decline over on that side by the time I got old enough to remember. But seeing what it looks like now after, it was all destitute and all that, you know.
Right. And so that's where the arrogance is that, well, the perceived arrogance is that these people who lived there prior to this big boom didn't deserve better amenities back then, which they absolutely did. You know what I mean? And things move slow for us. We are still a city where we are taxed without representation. Taxation, no representation. You know what I'm saying? It's on all the old school license plates.
You know, I still got that license plate.
Word up. You know, it was on grandma's license plate. Reminds you being taxed just to live here.
Yeah.
But we from
and here, you have no representation in Congress.
Yeah, this is my ground. What you talking about? When I look around, I see me.
Right.
You know, I don't people would, you'll get to see the president on TV just like you on TV. Went to the Obama years. Went to the Obama years. I was at the White House. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, it was a different city. It was a different time. Anyway, bring all that back around.
Yeah.
I became familiar with this woman who was a crack addict, and this sounds insensitive, but at the time, you know, we didn't know what we were dealing with. We insensitively labeled her Crackhead Debbie. You familiar with Crackhead Debbie on Kennedy Street?
Remember Crackhead Debbie?
Now, if you watching Snowfall, shout out to Snowfall. Crackhead Debbie is the Wanda.
It's Wanda, yes,
of Kennedy Street. Am I lying?
Nah, that's it. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's her right there.
She is who she is.
Yeah.
You know, she's shameless about it. She got hooked on something, and now she is living her life for it.
Yeah.
And she don't give a goddamn what anybody got to say about it
at all.
And she gonna do what she got to do for it. In a sense, this sounds awkward, but I believe everybody's full of shit. It helps me through life. I don't know. Maybe I'm full of shit too. But I believe everybody's full of shit. And we all carry around this bag full of shit. And I can find the crackhead Debbie in everybody.
I think everybody got a little bit of crackhead Debbie in them.
I feel like
it might not be crack.
Even the people, even the rich aunties got a little bit of crackhead Debbie in them. And so it helps me level the playing field a little bit. You notice I don't really get anxious. I get in any room, man. I can talk to just about anybody. I have my anxiety really good because I smoke a lot too. And I just, you know, I see the human in I see the human in people, man. I've been around some killers.
Yeah.
You know, I've been around some bank robbers real live. I've been around some crazy people, man. I've been in some rooms where I could tell y'all some stories and y'all wouldn't believe me because the truth is so much more stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy, man. Like I hear folks, you know how you hear folks talk about, like, you know, what they went through, their upbringing and whatnot or whatever. And I don't speak a lot about mine because, one, I don't want to like I think it was effed up. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff that I saw, you ain't supposed to see as, you know, a child of that age.
Exactly.
And so I never want to like wear that as a badge of honor.
No. We're not glorifying it at all.
Right. You know.
And that's the piece. That's it. That's the music right there. That's the music right there. I'm not glorifying it at all.
Right.
But I am in my own right getting it out.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me, man.
Yeah.
I got to get it out some kind of way though. It's my therapy in a sense.
Yeah.
That, even if you didn't like it, I'm still gonna put it out some kind of way.
Well, and that's the thing. That's one of the things I appreciate about us creating. Like, it's never been a thing of like, is so and so going to like this? Is you know, is people going to mess with this? Like, whenever we bounce ideas off each other, like I remember sending you tracks or whatever, and you sending me tracks, stuff that we may have done individually, but just want to give each other's like feedback on. You'll ask for the feedback, but the feedback doesn't deter you if you already have that mindset of this is something, and I gotta like continue to push at it. I'm trying to think of the name of that song that you did. And it was one of the songs that you did while I was down here. You found the producer overseas.
Nothing I Can't Handle.
Nothing I Can't Handle. And I remember when I first heard that
too, man. But he's a good dude.
You sent me
from Germany.
Yes, from Germany. You sent me that beat before you put anything on it, and my first thought, and I didn't tell you this, my first thought was like, how's he going to attack this joint? Because I can't hear it. Like I can't hear it right now. I know what beats like will get you in the pocket, and you know what I'm saying, you do your thing on. And when I heard that beat, I was like, I don't hear it. I don't hear this for him. And I think I said something to the effect of like, yo, let me see what you come up with. Because I was just interested. Like, you know, I know you're the ultimate artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, for people who won't know, like, you create most of the production that we're on. Like, most of the stuff, well, definitely most of the stuff that we've done in the last few years. But when I heard what you came up with for that beat, like, I was in amazement. Like, I don't know why I put you in a box, but when I first heard when I first heard the beat, I didn't hear your voice on it. And then when you sent me what you had created, I was like, wow. Like,
that's one of them joints, man. It was like long intro. I just let it breathe, and I let it speak to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat with that thing, man. I sat with it for a while. I reached out to the guy on SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, man, I don't have no money. I just really like this music. And can I record over it at least? And if you like what I record over it, we'll talk about it after that. That's basically what I told him.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, man, I got you. I'll be honored, man. I'll listen to some of your stuff. You cool. Boom. Sent me the MP3 about an email.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could remember that brother's name now, because I hadn't talked.
It was some years ago. It was some years ago. I want to say it might have been 2015.
He did like what I sent to him. He did like what I sent to him. But then we just lost communication after that.
Yeah.
I stopped using SoundCloud too.
True.
But yeah. Either way, that was one of those songs, man. It was just like I felt something. It felt gospel-ish.
Yeah.
And so I had to embrace the gospel sound and make myself an instrument of that. I can't sing. I don't think
you pulled it off.
I don't think I have a good tone for singing.
Nah, I would have to disagree.
I just
all of the joints where you've had to like let me harmonize this joint. And what song am I thinking about? There's a lot of good clubs in the club tonight, and all of them came looking right. Yo, when I tell you, like, you say you can't sing, but when I heard you coming on that joint, I was like, did he auto-tune or did he like fix his voice for this joint or something? Because this joint worked.
Yeah. See, man, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the drafts that we just gotta.
Yeah. What was that? That was Special.
Oh,
what makes you special?
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta dig that one up.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, I gotta dig that one up.
Yeah, I think that might have got sent around that time where you ended up missing a few files.
So, yeah, I think I lost a whole hard drive too.
Yeah, I don't think you have like the stems to that, but I definitely still got that song. Yeah,
I'm gonna put some lo-fi beats up on our page on our YouTube page too, man. Yeah, what's going on though, man? What else is going on?
Man, so and I spoke a little bit with you about it. You know what I'm saying? I just started this real estate investment. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's one of those things where we've said this for many years, but this year, like, I'm really throwing everything at the wall. You know what I'm saying? We got to release an album. It's part of the plan for this year. I got to put out this book of poetry. So all of the stuff that I've wanted to do, like, I got to do this year. You know what I'm saying? I'm treating it like a bucket list. Like, I ain't gonna be here. So I'm throwing all of it at the wall. You know what I'm saying? It was something you said to me a couple of weeks ago about buying a crib in Jamaica.
Man, I'm shit.
And like, yo, that'd be our house for 6 months out the year.
Man. Hey, like, I'm ready, man. I don't know what
we
gotta do. Who we gotta talk to? Holler at my man Leo. Yo.
Yes.
Because, man, that's my dream to retire in Jamaica, man.
Yeah.
I know it's a popular tourism, popular vacay spot.
They got spots that's like off, you know what I'm saying?
I just want privacy. I want land. You know, I don't want to be around. My measure of success is not having neighbors or being able to choose who my neighbors are. That's my measure of success.
Yeah.
You know. What's your measure of success?
It's funny. Well, before you even asked it, I started thinking about it. I think my measure is like my kids being straight, right? Like, I think about my dad now, and just him looking at his grandkids, and you know what I'm saying. And my dad had been like back and forth, you know what I'm saying, sick with, you know, but just like the idea of him sitting back, like, you know, I'm the patriarch. Like, for me, that's what it looks like. And my kids all being like successful. And successful by their definition of successful. And you know, I ain't trying to have this Kirk Franklin type of relationship with any of my kids. But
hey, listen, man, you can't tell me that Kirk Franklin ain't cuss on the ad libs or stomp.
Oh yeah,
the devil's a motherfucking lie, and this bitch we had a motherfucking hallelujah, nigga. You better say that shit. Stomp. I'm pretty sure there was an explicit parental advisory label on Stomp. I don't know that to be a fact, but somebody need to run that back.
Yo,
slow it down real quick, because he's slick with it on the ad libs. On that joint, he's slick with it on the ad libs. The devil's a motherfucking lie. You know that shit.
Let me tell y'all folks up, yo. Christians curse.
Everybody cuss, man.
Yeah, man.
Who one day just decided that this collection of words was so bad
that we had to come up with some violence?
That every day from henceforth, these words are taboo. These words are swear words. Who came up with that shit?
I don't know, man, but
that shit carried out through the years. Like, oh, you better not say that.
It did, but we cursed around each other. You know what I'm saying? When we got away.
What age did you start cussing?
I
had to be like 6.
Curse word is 6.
I think the first curse word you come in contact with is hell, and then you run it into the ground because your mama might not have heard you say it the first time. But then you say it and say, "What the hell?" you can smack upside your head for saying hell, and then okay, I can't say hell. Okay, got it. So only cuss around my friends, because
right. Yo, did you either have your mom hear you say a curse word, or a friend's mom a friend's mom hear you say a curse word? Did you have either of those?
My mom or a friend's mom?
Either one. Like one of the, whatever is the most prevalent story in your mind about that.
Most prevalent story for me. My grandfather. He was a very mild-mannered man. He was a gentleman. He was a man's man. He was a gentleman. You know, he dressed up real nice on Sundays, type of dude. I never heard him raise his voice. The only time I ever heard him cuss was when my grandmother would burn that goddamn incense in the basement. Now, give it context. At one point, my grandmother did burn the kitchen down in the house, and this was, and obviously, you know, her burning incense was a trigger. God rest his soul, man. The only time I heard him cuss, he came in the house, and you could smell it because the incense that she burnt was pungent. She put it in this little like plate with the foil.
Oh yeah,
it was like this shit to turn the pot, and it was. I hated it too.
What
anyway,
was it?
He would come in the house, huh?
Well, I'm sure you had incense that you smelled that smelled good. Was it just like the?
No, she flavor? had the like. I'm burning demons away incense, and that shit was like
that pungent.
I love grandma, but that shit was horrible. So you come in the house, the windows is all open, but it's still pungent in the house. And my grandfather came to that back door, and it's the first and only time I ever heard him cuss. He said, "What the shit?" And I was like,
cursing ever since,
Daddy-o cuss. But I felt like it was warranted, man, because that damn incense was a blower. Yeah. That damn incense, man. I hated that shit too.
That's funny.
But so that was like my first, like, I think, interaction with a parent, you know, that was like heated, use it in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know how old I was then.
I was just about to ask. I was like, well, you remember how old you were when that song?
I was young.
Man. So I think about, I wouldn't say that my pops talked to me the same way Kirk Franklin talked to his pops. I mean, Kirk Franklin's son talked to his pops. But I remember right before I was about to leave to go to Kansas, right after we graduated from Coolidge, I was on my way to Kansas to a junior college to play football. And the week before I was about to leave, I was leaving on Saturday. The whole, like, summer, really, I was like, hey, y'all, you know, I want a PS2, you know what I'm saying, when I go to school. That way I can play video games and I got a DVD player, like, so, you know, y'all ain't got to get both.
Sure.
So it comes down to the week before I'm about to fly out, and I don't see no PS2. So it was that Tuesday. I fly out on Saturday. It was that Tuesday, and I get swelled up in the chest with my pops, and I'm like, man, y'all always say y'all gonna do something for me. Y'all don't never do nothing for me. All I asked was for a PS2. I ain't asked for nothing. You know what I'm saying? My whole senior year, like, I got a job. I work for myself. Man, my father stopped me mid-rant and was like, nigga, you got a place to live.
Man,
you breathing air.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, anything that you
Cosby
needed.
Show episode.
Yeah.
With Theo.
It was just like that.
My man come in and he say, Dad, maybe I'm not meant to make A's. Maybe I'm not meant to drive a fancy car, live in a big building.
I'm thinking about something else. Yeah. Nah.
And then Cosby say, Theo, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. No wonder you make D's and F's. Yeah, that's funny, man. But no, I get it.
Yeah, so my pop snapped, man. He cursed. He said a few choice words or whatever.
Yeah.
But basically, like, yo, like, don't be entitled. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If anybody listening, you ever seen me display some moments of entitlement, You know what I'm saying? I apologize.
Don't charge it against my heart.
Yeah, man. That's one of those things that like burns me up. And I think seeing my father react to it the way that he did is what I took from it. Like I had to think about it. He ended up getting it. He got it on Thursday. And I think that was his plan the entire time. But he was just like, yo, don't be so entitled. I'm paying for your flight out to this joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, while I may not have to pay for school, I got to pay for the stuff that you got to get there. You know, so what you beefing about?
Sometimes we always see the end product, man. If your parents can make it happen, they don't tell you how the sausage is made. They just made it happen. As a parent now, I get to see how the sausage is made, and it's rough out here. Don't do it to yourself, man. Don't do it to yourself. If you can avoid, do not recommend. You read the Yelp reviews. You know, you know, we make it happen. You know, and it's helping me to be in a position where like I try not to judge my people, but also like, you know, my dad wasn't like really responsibly a parent, and a part of the function that I am now a part of with my family. And you know, he made some decisions. You know, I can see him have animosity. I could just let it be what it is, man. You know, we realize at some point, man, some people just gonna be who they are. Whether you want them to be something or not, you know. Think about all the things that you are to everybody. And at any given moment, one of those things can slip. You know? I'm husband, father, brother, you know, brother-in-law, you know what I'm saying? Son, nephew, grandson, you know, cousin, cuzzo, you know what I'm saying? A whole bunch, and at any given point in time, somebody call you. One of them people call you.
They're gonna need something from you. And I ain't even talking about like monetarily. I'm just talking about like from your spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And
your energy, your time.
It extracts from you. You know.
You know.
And, you know, and funny enough, like it extracts from you, but in some cases it also gives you life. You know what I'm saying? Like being in the position to,
if you can juggle it, yeah. You know, the OGs made it look simple, man. They did. My grandfather made it look simple, man. But he died a young man. He was 64 when he passed away, man. Hashtag fuck cancer.
Yeah. We on that forever.
Yep. Anyway, it was a real ass conversation, bro.
Yeah, it was, man. You know,
it's been a long ass week, man. This week was longer than porno dick. And
oh man,
caught you off guard.
Yeah, it did.
Man, how long? I'm switching it up completely, man.
No, go ahead. You know,
how long is too long to have sex?
How long is too long? Yeah. This is an interesting, bro. I'm gonna tell you. So I didn't send it to you for this week, but one of the things I was thinking about was, I think I understand now why we as humans should not have sex until we get married.
Oh, damn it.
No, look, listen, I got a very good argument for this, right? I got a very good argument for this.
I'm already against it. No,
I know.
Go ahead. I object. I object, Your Honor.
Bro, you see me in like various
sustained.
You see me in my various extremes, man, being very, very disciplined, but also being very, very, man, like I don't even know what to call it other than reckless, right? But I was watching the show Grownish the other day, right? And I just got done watching the season finale, but I was watching the show, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but let's say one of the characters in the show, two of the characters are in a relationship, and one of the characters who is the male character was waiting on his girlfriend to finish what she was doing in school, and they took a pause, and they were going to pick up after she got done doing what she was supposed to do. Long story less long. During that pause, he mentioned something about, you know, them fulfilling themselves physically with somebody else if they were going to be in this pause. So she was against it. He decided not to, but she ended up doing it.
Excuse me.
And so this took me to a whole nother like trip of thought. And obviously I'm a man. I don't date men. So I'm thinking about this from the standpoint of a woman. So seeing stories or hearing about women being unfaithful, right? And hearing about women who say like, this guy is the guy for them physically, and they can't get it out their mind and they think about it. I feel like if you don't experience this till you get married, you have no comps. So you can't go into a situation where everything else is right. And excuse me, bro, I'm putting a whole bunch of like conversations together. You can't go into a situation where everything's right.
I'm listening to your thought process. I'm listening to what's going on. Okay. Okay.
You can't go into a situation where everything's right, but then have the thing of, but sexually he just ain't so and so.
That's given a lot of power to sex in the universe of everything else, you know. Right. But I do think sex is powerful, and I would say I object. I would say buyer beware. Be careful what you signing on to.
Right. So
and even in the crappy cop shows, they taste the cocaine.
Like, oh yeah, this cocaine.
Do you know that could potentially be like cyanide that they like tasting and they just but it's a cheesy show and they want you to get the effect that
so my thing is,
I digress.
If you never experience it until you experience it with your significant other, you have no frame of reference to be like, oh, well, this is mid. This is Bush. This is fire. You know what I'm saying? And so you grow in that aspect together. You know what I'm saying? And when I tell you, like, I put together a whole bunch, it would take me a minute to explain all of like the conversations and the ideas that come to mind when I crafted this
I understand. This is a journey that you're on because of trauma, but also just because of being a man who's making decisions right now, being more conscientious about life. Because you have to be, because you have responsibilities. You need to be here. You need to be around.
Right.
And so you can't lead in every door with your dick first.
Yeah, but so I think it goes deeper than that. Like than my own personal it goes deeper than my own personal like experience or anything like that. And when I say personal experience, I mean like just, you know, over the older years of my life. But just thinking about like conversations and situations that I've seen, heard, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that decision would alleviate a lot for others, right? Now I could say in my own selfishness, like, I want to try it out before, you know, I get married, date, or whatever like that. But
pure cocaine.
I just think that you just end up chasing emptiness. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so, man. So my view on sex, it is completely an animalistic urge that we all get.
Indeed.
It has been very suppressed. It's become very taboo. And in reality, it's not.
I think it comes less taboo.
It really
now.
isn't. It's all around. It's everywhere. But we still look at it with judgment for whatever reason. People look at it like. For me, it's like, okay, it's something that we all do behind closed doors, and who we really are is who we are behind closed doors when nobody's looking. When these cameras is off, I'm gonna go and get me one off. You feel me? One way or another, with another or not, we all gonna get one off. I hope you would. I hope everybody release the fluids. It's therapeutic. It's definitely one of those things where it's like one less thing I need to think about during the day, and then I'm gonna get over that hurdle, and then I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's accomplish the mission. You know, it's like that. It's I think we all need to be more, there's this word again, conscientious about the impact that it has. If you are that type of person that you know that your emotions are synced to your sexual organs in a way that you cannot separate what is good for you versus what is not, then obviously you have a deeper issue beyond just sex. That's more of a what do you call that? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, man, but I feel like that you need to separate the act from, can you apply this to some other facet in your life and find patterns, right? You know, these are things that you I wouldn't take away the animalistic act. I would just be more transparent, communicate your desired outcomes, you know. Women love,
like, have you done that though, and have that not matter?
What do you mean, like communicate your desires?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man.
Oh, okay,
men,
so
we men, and we hunt, man. We go and we play the odds. If you're a man, one of the first things that you have to get used to is rejection. And if you don't, you become a dick. You become an asshole that's out here and becoming a sexual predator. Yeah. If you don't become accustomed to rejection and know how to handle that as a man, then you become a sexual predator.
Right. Well, no. So what I mean when I say,
but let me fill that out a little bit, because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I'm just saying that as a man, you kind of play the odds. So I'm gonna tell the truth more times than not, because I'm gonna be fully transparent more times than not, because this person, even though I like them, they might not be the one that for me. But guess what though? I look around, you know, there are fish swimming in this ocean that I'm in. You know, and so I just got to find my school and swim that way. And that's how as men you really got to handle it, and you need to recognize too when you're being a sexual predator. That's all I'm saying.
No, absolutely. Well, so to go back to the, I guess I can't think of the exact statement that you made, but it was something about something to the effect of communicating your desires, right? And the first thing I thought of when I said that was the first thing I thought of when you said that was that communicating the fact that maybe this animalistic part is the only thing that you want to pursue, right?
Sure.
In the event that you find a woman, and I'm speaking about us as men, you find a woman who is down for that, right? have you never experienced a situation where even in the beginning of being down for that, something changes and that's no longer enough?
I mean, yeah, it's happened. You know what I mean? It happens.
Right.
And then you deal with that accordingly, right? It becomes something that now you start to think deeper. Well, can I see myself with this person? Is this person a good person? There's things that you have to there's a discovery phase, right?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Right.
Nothing's guaranteed to you. That's entitlement. Nothing's guaranteed to you.
Right.
Just because I'm doing this with this person doesn't mean I'm entitled to this person in other ways. It means that I'm entitled for right now while I'm in the act.
Right.
Okay. And I'm not even entitled to that. She can stop, full stop. And it's, no entitlements. So that's the thing, man. People need to, you're making a long-term commitment, man.
Right.
You're making a long-term commitment to someone that you will need to be animalistic with.
Right.
And you need to know that this person may not want to learn to be animalistic in the way that you want her to be.
So
does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense.
We have a men conversation.
It quickened the decision. I mean, it quickened a thought in me as soon as you said that. I think that, where would you rank in the hierarchy of choosing a mate, where that goes? Because in the way that you just explained it, like it sounds like you've given it top billing.
Well, I kind of, it's not alone in the universe. It's a thing in the universe, yes, but it's in that universe of passion. Am I passionate about this woman?
Yeah.
Like, do she make it jump when she come in the room? Do I make her? Do she feel her heartbeat in her drawers when she see me? Passion, baby. I gotta have raw passion for my woman.
So
that is very high up. That is very high up.
And it I can say in some respects that it would have to be, right? But the only way you would know that if you had prior experience. But I think the only thing I think of is, you think of maybe someone who you shared that passion with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everything else is wrong.
Well, that's it. It's a universe of things. Like you said, that hierarchy. So, right? So underneath passion, is this a good person?
Right.
Is this human a legitimate human? Is this person someone who is compassionate? Yeah. Not only are they passionate about me, but are they compassionate for someone other than themselves, communities that they don't necessarily identify with? Are they compassionate enough to let a motherfucker over on the highway before they crash and die? Like, for real. Like, because that's who I am. That's the type of person I am. I am a compassionate brother. I see the world around us for the environment that it is, and I'm trying to protect everybody in it. And I want that person to feel some kind of accountability with the environment as well as I do.
Right.
And so that's high up.
Yeah.
But definitely I need to see. Let me see it. 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 You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah. So, obviously there's a part of me who certainly gets that. But there's this other part of me that recognizes, one, even with the animalistic part of, being physical, and having sex. The thing that separates us from animals is our ability to reason. You know what I'm saying? And our business and our ability to maybe effectively communicate our emotions. And so, you know, we can't just be like the lion in the jungle and just bye. You know what I'm saying? Like that might be in us, but we're dealing with another human at the end of this thing. And you know, I don't know, man. I just you know how, you know, my mind be working sometimes.
There are humans that can separate, and there are humans that can't. There are humans that can separate their emotion. You've met some of those humans, I'm sure, that can just extract emotion out of the whole act,
right?
And you become a human dildo for them.
But does that speak to trauma? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
why does it have to?
If you have the ability to do,
that's an assumption that anybody that is into sexual liberation is doing it out of some sort of past trauma. That's a heavy assumption, and I don't want people to feel that way. You know, there are some very sexually liberated people in this world who just genuinely want to.
Yeah.
You know.
No. I mean, I certainly can see that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like our sexual habits, behaviors, and ideas, and the things that we draw from certainly comes from a place. You know what I'm saying? Like, not necessarily saying that place has to be somewhere negative, but and maybe saying trauma was it wasn't the best word to use, but we draw from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, our ideas on sex are based in our experiences. You know,
let's talk about experience, man. Let's talk about it. I remember. So, okay. Aha. Here is an interesting story about kissing. I was in 6th grade, and this was when Keene Elementary. This is when elementary schools went from, you know, kindergarten to 6th grade. He graduated to 6th grade. Anyway, I was in 6th grade at Keene Elementary. This new girl had transferred, and her name was Michelle. And this is around the time where this is around the time where I transformed from being a fat kid over the summer from 5th grade to 6th grade. I come back 6th grade, I'm
slimmed out. No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so the honeys was checking. And Michelle was digging me hard. And so I had my first kiss in 6th grade. Now, after that, me and her on the playground, you know, swapped a little bit of spit. It became a show. It became her girls were gathering her and the rest of the class to see us kiss, either on the playground or in the stairwell at King. And so after school, it was a show. And I was putting on the show, and I didn't even know I was a pony. I just felt like I was doing what, you know, I was being somebody's boyfriend. But we was just kissing. You know, we was getting it in my little, you know, my little uniform pants was extending. We didn't know what we was doing, man. But that went on for about like maybe a week. And then somebody told the teacher. And so then it becomes a thing. You know.
Yeah.
That was one of my first experiences.
Okay.
I am trying to figure out how now that has impacted me all these years later. I'm a performer. I'm rather shameless in performance. I bear all.
Yeah.
I really don't have the nervousness that a lot of people have. They're very I gotta look this way. I can't say these things. I can't do these things because in the future I might want this type of job or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't live my life like that. Like they can't own me. They can't own 100% of me.
Yeah.
You know, as we see now, you can lose your job now like it ain't nothing, man. Anything happens and they need to trim the fat. You know, so you shouldn't give your life to some type of job that you didn't create for yourself. That's my general philosophy. I forget where I was going with all
this. Well, we talked about it. We were talking about experiences.
But yeah, I'm venturing to find where in my present life that pops up. That it's an interesting memory for me because I see it very vividly. Like, you know, and it's one of those things where like I really didn't know that I was being pimped in a certain type of way. I was being exploited for like views on a stairwell by elementary kids that were curious and wanted to see somebody French kiss.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah. You know, that's like one of my earliest, like I won't say sexual, but kind of sexual.
Yeah, no. I would still label that as like sexual.
How old are you in 6th grade?
11, 12. Yeah. You know, it's funny in you reliving that, like it brought me to a sad truth about my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm listening to you tell that story, and I felt like a sting because I lost my virginity before I had my first kiss. You know what I'm saying? Well, I keep that part to myself, but
it wasn't Crackhead Debbie, was it?
No. No, it was somebody in our neighborhood. I should have said that. Whole time.
We'll edit that out,
but you don't remember. But you know, I think about that, man, and I guess maybe when I say trauma, I guess I was, you know, summoning my own like experience or whatever. Because we don't really get how those things affect us until we get older. You know what I'm saying? You just know at a young age, like folks is talking about sex and like you're doing it already, but you like the people you tell about it, they make you feel like the man,
right?
But you may feel a little bit ashamed about it.
You got questions.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like before you even understand life, you know what I'm saying, are engaging in this experience, and you know that you like it. You know what I'm saying, but you don't understand it.
Right. And it'd be helpful if the adults around us would tell us and teach us instead of shunning away from us the facts.
Right.
You know, we hear what's going on in the other room. You know, your kids know what's going on in the other room. Your kids feel something too, and you know, it's up for you to contextualize it and mold it into something that they should treat very seriously.
Right. And give them understanding about it.
I tell my kids there's certain things that I respect so much that I'll never touch it. Number one's a black woman's hair.
Yeah.
I respect your crown so much. I can't. You know, there's just certain things in the world that you just can't touch, and you treat it like that until you understand it enough. To touch it. And so
I like that.
If I can help it, we're gonna educate. We're gonna educate instead of create fear.
Right. You know, it's funny you say that because like that brings me to the fact that I got some real uncomfortable conversations to have. You know what I'm saying, with my kids when they get to a certain age. You know what I'm saying, like I won't go too deep down that that rabbit hole, but you know, that'll be like some real serious conversations, and I know they're gonna have questions, and I know there's gonna be some frustration. But even in thinking about how uncomfortable it'll be, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. You're human after all.
Yeah.
You're human.
And I think, you know what I'm saying? Like just in thinking about my story, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of shame for me from it. You know what I'm saying? And having to exist in that shame
in the situation day to day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the way I've explained it to people was like, I don't know if that was Charlie Brown, where the person has the cloud, the rain cloud is following them everywhere. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I would say up until like maybe a year ago, that's how I felt. Like this perpetual rain cloud just following me around. You know what I'm saying? And it took some work, man, to like shake that. Like for those people who don't feel like therapy is an option or it'll do anything for you, or if you know what I'm saying, like you one of those people who just don't believe in it, like I'm trying to tell you,
try it out.
You gotta try it.
Try it out.
You know what I'm saying? And so there was a lot of personal development that needed to happen on my end. You know what I'm saying? Just from my honest standpoint. Because you can allow that to consume you. You know what I'm saying? And even the people who care about you the most may unintentionally force you to stomach it. You know what I'm saying? Force feed it to you unintentionally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's you that has to make the choice of like, I'm not gonna live in the shame. And I ain't even talking about necessarily like my personal thing, but anything that you can be dealing with that might bring some shame. Like it's ultimately up to you to like raise yourself out of that.
You here now, and you can take control of parts of the future.
Right.
Now, and that's what you're doing. You know, like I said, like I have that chip on my shoulder from not having a responsible and accountable and contributing father in my life.
Yeah.
I saw my mother struggle firsthand. I saw her do it herself, you know, and I said I would never ever put another woman who's bearing my child through that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I have that chip on my shoulder.
Right.
You know, ideally, I'm in a better situation. We could all be in a better situation. But hey, I got the rock.
Yeah.
I can shoot it. You know, I can put it up for a layup. I can pass it. But I got the rock. And it's on me to make a play.
You don't want to.
What you got right now is the present.
Yeah.
And you know, you going in on you trying to do the best thing you can do right now with this peculiar situation. And so, you know, it's gonna be some effed up days, bro.
Yeah.
And you just going through the motions. You on autopilot.
Yeah.
But you working towards the future, man.
One of the best pieces of advice that you gave me, just in my journey as a father, and in all honesty, like I'm not saying like I've gotten this right 100%. Like I could certainly be a better father. I could certainly do things a little differently. But one of the best pieces of advice that you gave me was show up every day. Show up every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still striving towards that. You know what I'm saying? Not to say like,
you a football player, man. You a player.
Yeah.
You know what that means. You know, hungover or whatever.
You ain't gonna feel like it's some
practice. You drag your ass to practice.
Right.
You know. And so, man, my grandfather, man, he was one of them OGs that just like he didn't talk a lot. He just look at you and say, come on, get in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
And I would. And he had this thing, he said, man, I'm just doing my service. Right. So he delivered communion to the sick and shut in people who couldn't make it to church. Who was over there at Mount Pleasant on 4th and Rhode Island. And he was a deacon. He drove the church buses on Sundays. And so we'd be all over the city in them church buses, filling them up with gas. We had gas cars, and we was over, getting subs from Carl Subs and going to eat breakfast over at Murray and Paul's, so we was all up and down Northwest, Northeast. And he was just one of the people that just like I feel like I can tell now that he was living by example. He was showing me what a man is, by not necessarily saying, hey, look at this. He was taking me along with him, and I got to see firsthand what he was doing. If I had questions, I could ask questions. He would answer them. But essentially, if you sit down and shut the fuck up for a second and watch and observe patterns in people and mannerisms and focus on the how, and look and try to connect things together, then you'll learn something, And that's how I'm gonna be with my kids. And I gotta show up in order to do that.
And it's funny though, you don't get it, well, I ain't gonna say you don't get it, but you provided that example, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, man, in the early days. But I just think about like when Ken was younger, you know what I'm saying? Like, just you showing up every day and just providing that example. You ain't saying like, yo, as a father, this is what I got to do and this, that, and the third. Like,
that's not my style.
You doing it. You know what I'm saying?
That's not my style.
And even when Deuce came, you know what I'm saying? Like, Deuce came. We joked about this. Deuce came the week before I moved to Atlanta.
Right.
A full week. I want to say he was born on a Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
Man.
June 16th?
June 16th. I don't remember what day it was, though.
Yeah, June 16th. I left the 23rd. And so throughout the years, man, just seeing you, interact and be a dad, like it's certainly been a great example.
Thank you, brother.
Because I've seen moments where you ain't had it. You know what I'm saying?
Those be the moments where you realize you figure out who you are in that moment. You ain't got nothing else, and you can call your village. I can call people like you. I can pick up the phone and call people like my aunt and my mom, and I got a village of people, and I'm very thankful for that village, man. And they make me look good because they, some days I can't do it without y'all, man. I couldn't do it without the village that I have. So that's important. Shout out to all the dads that's just out here doing it, man. You might not have that village, but you know what I'm talking about. You just get out here and you hit the road, man. You make it happen because in 2017, I got laid off from a nonprofit gig. And they gave me a little severance. Yeah, they gave me a little severance, and it was good enough to float for a little while. I started driving Uber, and I was already working part-time event staff / security. And I hit the guy up and I said, hey, man, if you have any full-time, gigs, let me know. He said, well, hey, I got a store up in Georgetown. I'm not going to say the store name, but basically you stand around and try to deter people from shoplifting. Easier said than done, but we'll get to that. And so, okay, my stature, I'm about 5'5", 5'6" on a good day, depending on the sneakers I'm wearing. I'm stocky build, a little football kind of build on me, and so I'm not really deterring much, right? But I wear this black suit. I stand in the store in the window and give a presence as though, okay, this store has some type of independent security don't test it. To the modern day thief, that becomes the challenge to get past this guy in the black suit. Anyway, 2017 into 2018, I do this for about like a whole year. I'm like, when I'm not standing in his window in Georgetown, I'm driving Uber. You know, when I'm not driving Uber, I'm at home, or I'm with the kids. You know, trying to be a present dad. As soon as they go to bed, I'm right back out in the streets.
Yeah.
Get up, wash, rinse, repeat the next day. Boom, I'm at the store when they open at 11 a.m. Leaving the store when they close at 7 p.m. every day. At some point, I approached the guy. I was like, "Man, I need to hire a team of people because, you know, I'm killing the clock. I'm here every damn day." Money was great because I was the only person on the clock. You know.
Yeah.
But essentially, I was killing myself slowly. You know, my feet hurt, legs hurt, back hurt, you name it, it was starting to hurt. And I'm wearing the same black suit. I'm teetering between two black suits. This was 2017, man. So I got 2 kids. You know, I'm not playing around out here, man. I ain't got time to be hanging out with nobody in no clubs and, you know what I mean, going out for drinks and stuff. But I'm out here just hitting the street every day. That year, I really learned who I was because I was determined that everything that I was responsible for while I was gainfully employed, I was going to maintain in one way or another. Financially, you know what I mean? Physically, I was going to show up for meetings and all that stuff. And, you know, I took it as an opportunity to be like, you know what? I got this energy in me. I got this youth in me still. Whatever's left of it, I'm going to use it to work and provide.
Do you remember I pulled in town. I want to say it was that morning. I pulled in town maybe a day or 2 after you lost your job. And I met you off of K Street. And we went to breakfast.
Right.
Remember that?
Right. Yeah, up at Franklin's. Yeah. Yes. Franklin's Grill.
And it was crazy, man. I think about that time and like just how you were going through. And when I say going through, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a big thing. But I remember going to the house not too long after that. Going to the house and seeing you with Tia and with the kids. And they wouldn't have known, you know what I'm saying, by the way that you were interacting. And I saw that and I took from that, like, you know, I saw my father do it, but it's just this thing of like, I just gotta make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they don't need it. I can't show them how the sausage is made.
Yeah. And I took from that, man, because I remember sitting in breakfast or whatever, and like just having that rough conversation. You were like, man, like I don't know what's next. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I didn't have a plan.
Yeah, but you figured it out, man.
You know, sometimes, you know, they say keep your feet moving.
Yeah,
just keep your feet moving. And I was determined that if you sit at home for too long, you know, it's what they call an entropic muscle. When the muscle sits for too long, so where it's no longer functional.
Atrophy.
Yeah. And so
your muscles atrophy.
I was determined to beat that at all costs. I couldn't just go and sit at home because the limited times where my dad was living with me, that's what he became. You know, he would work a job and get fired, or he quit, and he would just sit at home, sit on the couch, and rely on my mother to, to make it happen. And that's like I can't respect it. You know, that's not who I am. I saw what it did to my mom, and I took a vow that's not gonna be me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where it comes from. In general, man, I appreciate the praise, but like generally, man, I'm just that's the thing, man. Like I wish people would think more about what's next, what's coming down the road. If I do this today, what does that look like a year from now? I wish people I wish people were more in tune with the environment that they impact. You know, a lot of people walk out the door and they operating as though they the only person in the world that matters. And I just never been that type of person, man, because I've seen how the environment can change in a sudden instant. I've seen, you know, how the environment could be enhanced by just a little bit of generosity, a little bit of niceness. You know, somebody bring some flowers into the room. It's a different room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be in tune with who you are in the moment and how that impacts the environment around you. Right? A lot of people just not that in tune, man. A lot of people live in bliss.
Yeah, I mean, it's a selfish ignorance bliss.
It's comfortable. You know, it's comfortable. I wish I could not care. I wish I could walk out and not be so practical in thought and just enjoy, you know, certain things. But it's like I have, you know, I don't know, man.
I certainly feel you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to think about it from both sides. Like maybe in some of the areas where I may have lived in that selfish ignorance. You know what I'm saying? You know, it just kind of makes you reflect, like being on both sides of that coin. You know, and what were your thoughts when you were on the not so good part? Tails never fails. So what was your what was your perspective when you were on heads? You know what I'm saying? Like why didn't you think so deeply about maybe some of the consequences of your actions? And you know, I know we were speaking about fatherhood, so I'm not speaking about kids, obviously, as a consequence, but I just mean like there's a responsibility that comes with consequence. Like you got to carry it as much as you probably don't want to. And again, I'm not speaking about children as consequences. But there is a financial consequence that comes along with choosing to have kids. There's an emotional consequence. You can't just say like, and you shouldn't be able to just say like it's still all about me. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? It stops being about you when these little jokers look to you for love, for guidance, for acceptance, for assurance. You know what I'm saying?
If any you could tell real dads go through like what I call the ugly years. Like we just ugly as hell for like the first few years of the baby life. That's how you can tell that dad is really engaged in that child's life because he stopped giving a fuck about how he looked maybe 2 years ago. when that baby was coming.
You know,
he gave up on life. He gave up being a sex symbol.
He ain't a good dad if he ain't got a dad by it.
Exactly. Yeah, for real, man. It's just, you know, it does something to you. It should do something to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, long rant. long rant.
Look,
but yeah,
it's funny too when you hit me and said, like, bro, let's jump on tonight. I was actually on my way to the gym. I was like, yeah, we ain't get one in last weekend. Like, yeah, let's get one tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? Let me go get me some food and let me come talk to my brother.
Word up.
Saying.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, this is feels good. just to do it. And yeah, man, you know, I chop things up and put this thing out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I want to say too, because it's relevant. We stand with the Asian American community, stand with the Asians. We just really need to ban white guys for a few years, man. Just like stop accepting white people into the country.
Right.
Because it's I'm saying that jokingly. But seriously though, man, there's some really, really small people in this world. Very small-minded, small people in this world. And they live to just terrorize others. They're viruses. We need to weed those people out before more stuff like this happens. And any way that I can be a part of that, I'm down with that cause. It ain't gonna be the police, because we can see the police is making excuses for these types of people. Oh, he had a bad day.
Having a bad day.
He had a bad damn day. I had bad days.
Because of his sexual addiction, he just wanted to take out, you know, some of the workers at some of these spas.
Yeah. So we see it, you know, right in our faces. We are in tune, and we watching, and we listening, and we're not taking the bullshit. And so, yeah, man, let's try to love on one another.
Yeah.
A little bit harder. I know it's hard with this COVID stuff, but like, yeah, reach out to your people, talk to your folks, you know, check in.
I really don't think it's that hard to give a damn.
Be in tune with the environment. What you do impacts how what you do now impacts somebody else. You know, that's my message to the world.
Yeah.
famous last words, huh? Knock on some wood. Yep. But yeah, man, this has been real. It's been real as fuck.
Man, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
I care too much.
Yeah.
All right. I think the audience has got a chance to see who we are as men in this conversation, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna leave on a high note though, man. I had already drank all my drink. I really did drink.
What you had, man? What you had?
This cheap ass Jose Cuervo margarita mix, ready to drink mix.
I'm glad when I come up there. Usually, when I come up there, I got the good stuff.
We roll out the carpet for you, bro.
Yeah, bro, and I appreciate it. I truly do. Shout out to my sister Tia.
When you coming up? Anytime?
Man, you know, I really wanted to make my way up there for spring break. It's looking less likely, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
That I'll be able to do that. Only because, you know, I think I spoke about it at the beginning of the broadcast where I'm really trying to push this real estate thing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I got that entrepreneurial spirit in me.
Good luck, brother.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am really trying to put myself in a situation where the only person I have to work for is myself.
Bingo. Bong bong. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Create your job.
Yeah, man.
It's time to create your job. Whatever you're passionate about, whatever you're interested, even if you're not passionate about something, pick something and pursue it through. The difference between you and everybody else will be that you pursued it all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So stick to something and create your own job in this world, because that's the only way we're going to sustain, man.
Yeah.
Everybody can't be bosses, that's for sure, but you got to sell something.
Yeah.
And cheat your way to the top. Look, do not take anything off of the table. At this point, we see all the BS that has been going on.
Yeah, we do.
All these people that's in charge right now cheated their way to the top. And so don't even take it off. If you scamming, just try not to scam your own people. That's all I ask.
Don't
scam them people. Don't scam our people. Scam them people. Okay, cheat your way to the top because it's money out here to be had, and you know all these good people. Ain't no good people in 1%. They all they all got a story to tell. They got their money some kind of way. Okay, that's why they the 1%. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Get your money. All right.
Get your money.
We're going to try to get some OnlyFans people. I don't know what you call them, but some successful OnlyFans couples and
be a great conversation.
People,
on
the show, and we're gonna talk to them about sexual liberation. We're gonna talk to them about how you know their reasoning for setting up OnlyFans and how lucrative it's been for them.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
All right, brother.
Have a good one, my man.
All right, I love you, bro.
Love you too, dude. Peace.
Peace.